Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Antaryascha Bahirvidodhatimiram Jyotirmayam Shashvatam Sthanam Prapya Virajate Vinamatam Ajnanamunmulayan Pashyan Vishwamapidamullasati yo Vishwasya pare paraha Tasmai Sri Ramanaya Loka Gurave Shokasya Hantre Namaha. We'll look from the 10th verse onwards. Bhavantu Sardarshana Sadhanani Parasya Nama Kritibis Saparyaha Sadvastvani Prapya Tadatma Bhava Nishtaiva Saddarshinamattya Darshanamittya Vehi Dvandvani Sarvanyakilastriputyah Kinchit Samashritya Vibhanti Vastu Tanmargane Syad Galitam Samastam Na Pashyadam Sachalanam Katapi. That's where we stopped. The world that we see is Dvandva Samoha in the form of pairs of opposites, and all perceptions are having three factors: the seer, the seen, and the seeing. Vedanta is not about something not of this world. It is not about something which is outside our daily experiences. It's not about Swarga and Swarga Bhogadi. It's not about some unknown God who is ruling from above. Vedanta is Atma Jnanam. Atma Jnanam, knowledge of oneself leading to liberation, freedom, mukti, happiness, joy, contentment, fulfillment. After all, what we are seeking in everyday life is only that: contentment, happiness. What else anybody wants? If you ask anyone what you want in life, is happiness or shanti. Does he say, if you ask anybody, what do you want in life? Swarga? Does he say that? What do you want in your life? Swarga. No. Even those who are performing rituals also, even though they say Swarga Praptaye, Apishta Kama Siddhaye, Apishta Artha Siddhaye, Kshema Stairya Virya Vijaya Ayuhu Arogya. Is it what we are talking about? He doesn't say in the Sankalpa, Apsara Praptyartam, Indraloka Bhoga Praptyartam. ऐसा कहते हैं क्या? बताओ. Anybody says that? इंद्रलोक में मैं आपके जाके वो अप्सर से उसके साथ डांस करना है, ऐसा कुछ संकल्प लेते हो आप? कोई आप बताते नहीं. What are you saying? अस्मिन् लोके क्षेम स्थैर्य वीर्य विजय आयु आरोग्य. This is what we are seeking. So, therefore, अस्मिन् लोके इह जन्मनि sukha praptyartha. Though rituals are performed, but we are forgetting this point. मैं क्यों कर रहा हूं? आत्म शांति के लिए, आत्म सुख के लिए. And bhoga vastuni na sukham leshaha api asti iti jnanat. Even a little amount of pleasure is also really not there in the bhoga vastu. Only then one will recognize the relevance of Vedanta. In this Dvandva Samuha, Dvandvani Sarvani Akilas Triputyaha, all these are Kinchit Samashritya Vibhanti Vastu. Kinchit Vastu Samashritya Vibhanti. It is always depending upon some other thing. If I ask you, are you a good person? What is your answer? Are you a good person? What's your answer? Sort of. That's the answer. Sort of. Why? It depends upon whether you are good to me or not. If you are good to me, I am good to you. If you are bad to me, I am bad to you. If I constantly scold you, criticize you, ridicule you, obviously you will not be good to me. So there is no absoluteness in our life. Good or bad, depends. Right or wrong, depends. Are you a successful person? Depends. Are you a happy person? Depends. Depends on what? Katam kima ashritya etat dvandvani vibhanti. What is that support on which all these are all existing? Kimashritya, kinchit ashritya vibhanti vastu. It is always depending upon something else. Tanmargane, when you start proceeding into that, what is the ashraya, what is the support because of which I can comprehend good, bad, right, wrong, joy, sorrow, success, failure, and also support of which alone I am able to become an experiencer of an object which is experienced as an experience. When you start inquiring into that, what is the ashraya? Then what happens is, Galitam samastam syat. Galitam vinasham gacchati. Nashtam gacchati. They disappear. When you are in the deep sleep, are you a good person or a bad person? Neither. Because the concept doesn't exist. Good or bad, right or wrong, none of those pairs of opposites have any relevance. He's a very good person, you know. I have a friend, very good person. When he is at sleep, he's a very good person. Everybody is harmless when sleeping, right? Even the most harmful person is also harmless when he's sleeping. Neither he does good nor he does anything bad. That's why harmless. Neither he is successful nor a failure. क्यों ऐसा होता है? Because in that state of deep sleep, we are merging into that ashraya unknowingly. But ashraya is support. But when we do not know what that ashraya, we get into avidya. I have explained to you this before. Just like a rope as a cause, the cause of the rope is not the rope. Cause of the snake is not the rope. Cause of the snake is ignorance. Snake. I keep everything ready. This is not a normal snake. It is Vedanta snake. This snake has a long tail. You see that? When I was in Florida, somebody had a snake as their pet. I have this as my pet. This snake is this a Shiva avatar I do? Shiva avatar liya. So the snake is perceived as real, and that the rope is not the cause for this. This is looking kind of brown for it. Actually, it is green because it is, background. This thing it becomes brown. It is actually green. Anyway, it doesn't matter right now. Karanam for the appearance of the snake is ajnanam, but ashraya, support of that snake, is rope. In the same way, ashraya for our perception of duality is Brahman. Karanam is avidya. Please understand this carefully. क्यों हम देखते हैं ये द्वंद्व समूह को? Good, bad, right, wrong. This judgment comes from where? And what we have considered good today, 5 years later when we have the right knowledge, what is it? Green came suddenly. क्या हो रहा है? 1 minute. This got a little messed up here. I don't know. The snake came and messed up the whole thing. In the YouTube, it becomes green. क्यों? पता नहीं. I don't know what that to do. Okay. I should not have brought that snake into this picture. Here. All right. Can't help it. So, ashraya for this dvandva samuha is Brahman. Karanam is avidya. So when we says tan margane syad galitam samastam, when we are looking for what is the ashraya, and one when who does that, he becomes fully firm on recognizing Brahman as the very support. Tad na pashyadam sajjalanam kadapi. Thereafter, there is no more any wavering. There's no more oscillation. There is no uncertainty. Otherwise, we are caught up in this world of duality, and then either we are supporting one side or the other, and constantly the bombardment of the duality will continue. And therefore, he said that margane syat, when that marga, that very path, that anveshanam, ashraya anveshanam, is a marga, finding out or inquiry into the support. That is explained in the next few verses here. So we read verse number 12. Verse number 12. Yeah. Vidya katam bhadi na cheda vidya. Vidyam vina kim pravibadya vidya. Dvayam cha kasyedi vicharya mula. Swarupanishta paramartha vidya. Vidya katam bhati na cheda vidya. Vidyam vina kim pravibadya vidya. Dvayam cha kasyedi vicharya mula. Swarupanishta paramartha vidya. So, in the previous verse, we saw that ashraya anveshanam, inquiry into the ashraya, the support, is the marga. Swatma bodham yadi brahmagyadam vrittihi pravartate, swa atma akara tada bhutva na pratak pratitishthati iti. When the thought turns towards discovering the very support of the duality, then such a vritti, such a thought cannot anymore stay away from the very ashraya itself, the very support itself. This aham brahmasmi, the vritti, is not an independent thought. It cannot remain as a thought anymore. It has to merge into the state of Brahman. Just as I want to sleep is a thought that arises into your mind when you are ready to sleep, and that thought remains for a short period of time and it disappears in the state of sleep. In the same way, Brahma kim, aham brahmasmi, and the jnatva, first is Brahma kim, what is that Brahman? Then sarvashraya atma brahma iti jnatva. When support of everything is that very self alone, aham brahmasmi iti vrittihi brahmabhute brahmabodham brahmagatva brahmani meditva galitva brahmarupena tishtati. Vritti, the thought, is no more an independent entity. See here also, now let us take the two things. Evam sarvesham dvandvanam sakalanam triputinam ashraya sapekshatve upabadana dvara moolashraya anveshanena achala prapti ukta. A person who inquires into that finally reaches a point of total stability, sthita prajnatvam, this total state of abidance in the self. So here, for example, what is this dvandva? Let us take the dvandva as a two things, as two different things opposed to each other. Vidya, knowledge; avidya is ignorance. Can there be knowledge without avidya? You mean to say the opposite each other are interdependent? Can the knowledge be without ignorance? Knowledge of a thing is connected to earlier ignorance about the same thing. I don't know a thing because of which I am interested to know it. When I came to know it, I become non-ignorant of that. Compared to me, somebody who does not know is ignorant. I am considered as a man of knowledge. Other person is considered a man of ignorance. It applies to all knowledge in the world. I don't know is a starting point of gaining knowledge, isn't it? If I don't know that I don't know, can I even seek that knowledge? So that is the reason why the student, when he reaches the teacher, he asks this question, Ajnanam, what is that? Kim Ajnanam? What is that? Ignorance. Does he ask that question? He asks the question, Jnanam, Prayacha, O Guru, please give me knowledge. When he approaches a teacher and asks for knowledge, what is he aware of? That I am Ajna. I don't know. This I don't know is what is causing him to look for knowledge. So without that I don't know, ignorance, can there be a pursuit of knowledge even? So, vidya katam na chet avidya. If ignorance is not there, can there be an existence of knowledge? That is one thing. Second is, vidyam vina kim prabhibhadi avidya. Without the knowledge, how can there be awareness of ignorance? In other words, like for example, if a child is there, a young child, which is not yet started to go to school, let us say. So such a child which is not yet gone to school, he does not even know that what he does not know. He slowly learns the mother tongue. Whether it is Hindi or Gujarati or Telugu, Tamil, whatever it is. So once that child has started to learn, not through the book, but by just hearing from the mother, from the father, from the, the brother and the sister, started to learn a language. Once it starts to learn a language, let us say Hindi, then when he goes to school, he's taught English. From where does he learn English? From the standpoint of mother tongue, he will start to relate to that knowledge. The apple is given or the orange is given. So the first day teachers ask, What is this? This boy looks at it. Narangi. So this teacher, who is American teacher, what? What's that? Narangi. That boy very clearly says Narangi. Of course, that's what he knows. No, it is orange. Huh? That boy is now confused. What is that? New thing is coming. It is the same which I know at least for a year or two. I know that it is Narangi. Now it is near some other thing. So he comes home confused. Mommy, ये क्या चीज है? ये क्या फल है? She said नारंगी. स्कूल में टीचर में बताइए ऑरेंज है. ऑरेंज वही है. How can it be two? That is Hindi. What you know, that is English. So how does he learn a new thing? From what is known alone, unknown can be learned. Unknown can be known as unknown only from the standpoint of known. Knowledge alone is able to make you recognize what is ignorance. जो आपको मालूम है वही प्लेटफॉर्म, when standing on that platform only you know what you don't know. So both are interdependent, but at the same time we understand, so vidya katambadi nacheda vidya vidyam vina him prabhibadi avidya. Can there be ignorance? If there is no ignorance, can there be knowledge? Can there be knowledge without the ignorance? Now, the question is, you, the one, are you ignorant or a man of knowledge? If I ask that question, are you an ignorant person or a knowledgeable person? You immediately ask, ignorance of what? Isn't it? I'm not ignorant. What do you mean? But I may be ignorant of something which I may not have even come across. Then Bhagavan Rama went and met Shabari, and she herself condemned herself. I am a unpad, unlettered, tribal, stupid, foolish woman. Bhagavan Rama said, all whatever said may be true, but there is no bhakta like you. No, you may be ignorant about all other things which others know, but what you know, some others don't know. The devotion that you have, even the greatest scholar would not have. So nobody in this world is really ignorant. They may be ignorant of XYZ things. So if you ask me, are you ignorant? I will definitely ask, ignorance about what? Something I don't know. And what I know, you don't know. So who am I then? Am I ignorant or a man of knowledge then? Am I jnani or ajnani? Neither. Because I am awareness. As awareness I am aware of both what I know and what I don't know. As awareness I am neither a person of knowledge nor a person of ignorance. Both are irrelevant. Moola Swarupa Nishta Paramartha Vidya. Ja Kasya Iti. Both of them, these two, Dvayam Chakasyeti Vicharya Moola. Dvayam, Vidya, Avidya, Dvayam, Kasya. This ignorance and knowledge belong to whom? Iti Vicharya. When you think about it, that is Moola Swarupa Nishta, Atma Nishta, abidance in the awareness. Now, if I ask you, you may be a great scholar or a great scientist, whatever it is. When you go to a deep sleep, are you a Mudha or a Buddha? Tell me. Are you a man of great knowledge and wisdom or Mudha? If you are a man of wisdom, you cannot become a Buddhu. Again, are you a Buddhu or Buddha? So you may say, again, Swami, depends. What depends on what? Whether I am awake or I am sleeping. If I am awake, I am Buddha. If I am sleeping, I am Buddhu. So how can a same person become Buddha and Buddhu? How can it be? That means the Buddhitvam or Buddhutvam, Mudatvam as well as the Jnanitvam both belong to Buddhi, intellect, which is absent, Aham Buddhu. Aham Muda, when? When the Buddhi is not available. So, Jnanam tata Ajnanam Dvayam Buddhi Rupam, Vritti Rupam. It is belong to the Buddhi, not to me, awareness. That Buddhi also is there sometime, and in this Nidra Samaye Nasti. In sleep it is not there. So that is not me. If the Buddhi is me, then I must be absent. Am I absent? No, pretty much. Swamiji, you are snoring away. You are very much present. You are not absent. So, if I am only the Buddhi, which I consider as which filled with knowledge, etc., when I go to sleep and the Buddhi is not there, am I not there? I am pretty much there. Not with the Buddhi. Why go that far? Take two pegs. I don't know, two pegs. Blue, 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 blue. न्यू ईयर के लिए पिएंगे. Any excuse you start drinking. So when you drink, then what happens? Even a Buddhi man become a Buddhu. Because he has no access to that knowledge. Who does not have access to that knowledge? Tell me. If you are Buddhi, that knowledge should be always there. When you are drunk, to whom this knowledge is not available then? To whom this Buddhi is not available? You are awake, right? Yes. When? So, Buddhi Jnanam na Atma Jnanam. That knowledge which is belong to the Buddhi is belong to Buddhi only. Ajnanam also belong to the Buddhi only. But to me, the self, the characteristics of Buddhi does not apply. Tvayam cha kasya iti. These two, vidya cha avidya cha dvayam kasya iti vicharya moola swarupa nishtha, abidance in that is called paramartha vidya. That is called supreme knowledge. Highest knowledge. So that's why here in this avidya nachet vidya kadam bhati evam vidyam vina vidya nachet kadam avidya pradivadi vidya avidya anyonyashrayam dvandvam ityartha. Dvandvam iti anyonyashrayam, mutual dependence. Dvayam cha vidya avidya cha kasyedi vidyavan ko avidyavan kaha ko va adhikaranam. What is the support? Vidya avidyayoho iti vicharya sukshmena tattva nicharena paryalochya ya moola swarupa nishta moola swarupe vidya avidyayoho ashraye nishta pratishta sa eva paramartha vidya. The ashraya or adhikarana the very support and substratum of both. Paramartha Vidya, that is the supreme knowledge. Paramartha means artha is prayojanam. So yasyaha sa paramartha sa vidya anubhuti swarupani. This Paramartha Vidya, Paramartha Rupa when it is said, or Paramartha Vidya when it is said, this is the Parama Artham, final purpose of life, to understand this. Or Paramartha means Satyam, Parama, Sarvodkrishta Arthaha, Vachaha, Idi Pratyutpati. That is supreme-most absolute knowledge. Either it is considered as supreme-most purpose of life or supreme-most knowledge. Both can be interpreted by the word Paramartha Vidya. Anubhava Atmajnanam eva Paramartha Vidya ityukte Laukika Vidya kevalam Manasam Jnanam ityartha. Kevalam Manasam Jnanam Laukika Vidya. All knowledge that we gain in the world about the objects of the world are belonging to only the mind, the state of mind. If the state of mind is disturbed, then that knowledge is also not available to you, however great you may be. Is it not that people who have gained so much of greatness in their own knowledge, when they get into coma or when they get into some state of Alzheimer's, they know those knowledge is not available to them anymore. Some people are Alzheimer's, we are all Somezheimer's. Alzheimer's means forgot everything. Somezheimer's, we got to forget something. Now, having explained that Dvandvasya Ashrayaha Paramatma. Now, Triputi. Jnanam Jnayaha Jnatuhu. Knower Jnatuhu. Jnanam, knowledge. Jnayaha, knowable. These three also depending upon the same Ashraya. How is that? That is said in the next verse. Verse number 13. Bodharamatmanamajanato yo. Bodhassa kim syat paramartha bodha. Bodhasya bodhyasya cha samshrayam swam. Vijanadastad dvitayam vinashyet. Bodharamatmanamajanato yo. Bodhassa kim syat paramartha bodha. Bodhasya bodhyasya cha samshrayam swam. Vijanadastat dvitayam vinashyet. Gurudev used to call it as perceiver, perceived, and perception. Perceiver is a knower, bodha, bodharam. So, bodharam, the knower. Who is the bodhara here? Who is the knower here? In the Triputi, Jnataram. And the person who does not know the final knower is Atman. Bodharam Atmanam Ajanataha. One who does not know, Jnataram Atmanam Vishayinam Ajanataha Anubalabamanasya Pumsaha Yo Bodhaha. Whatever knowledge he gets, Yad Jnanam Nyayade Sabodhaha Paramartha Sajnanam Sanyanam Syat Kim. Without knowing the knower, anything the knower knows is no absolute knowledge. In other words, without knowing the final knower, anything that you know is tucham, alpam, insignificant only. I have my eyes looking at something. I have the eyes looking at an object like this. Let us say. This is the object, and my eyes are the perceiver of that object. Now, between me and the object, there is an experience of seeing takes place. Can I say, therefore, eyes are the seer of this object? I may be right, but I am not correct. The difference between right and correct is right in a context, correct in all context. In this context, eyes are the seer and this object is the object that is seen. But in the real, if you go deeper and understand, eyes are not seeing, the mind is seeing. Can you say the mind is a part of the eyes or independent of the eyes? A part of the eye. Mind is part of the eye. Eyes? No. So it is not the eye, yet in the transactional reality, we say, with the eyes I am seeing. Correct only. But is it? No, with the mind only I am seeing. Why? Because without the mind, eyes cannot see. Therefore, what is seeing is not the eyes, actually it is the mind. Correct? All right. Is it part of the mind? Eyes? No, is the mind a part of the eye? No, it is not. So it is independent, right? Yes. In the same way, so-called jnata in me, so-called the knower in me, knowing many things in this world, thinking this knower, this buddhi is me, you are making a mistake. Buddhi is not the knower. Awareness is. The awareness is not part of the buddhi, as much as mind is not part of the eyes. So therefore it says, Bodharam Atmanam. Awareness, which is the real knower, Vijanataha, Ajanataha, one who does not know, Yaha, he whoever it be, Sassaha, Bodhaha Syat Paramartha Bodhaha. Whatever he knows, is it absolute? Can that true knowledge when the knower does not know himself? On the other hand, bodhasya cha samshrayam swam vijanatah, one who knows both, bodhasya bodhyasya cha samshrayam, the object perceived and the person or the one who is the perceiver, both are supported by one who knows that. It's a very interesting thing he brings in here. Now you see, Vedanta is not rejecting the world. Vedanta includes the world when you know that the world is also supported by the same consciousness. जो मुझे मेरे अंतर में है जो है वही है, that alone is अधिष्ठानम लोकस्य अपि. लोकस्य अधिष्ठानमपि तदेव यद् मम अधिष्ठानम्. अधिष्ठानम् एकमेव. बोधस्य ज्ञानस्य Bodhyasya jneyasya cha samshrayam ashrayam swam atmanam vipishayi bhutam vijanataha jnatavataha purushasya tat vat द्विविधं बोधः बोध्यस्य ज्ञानं ज्ञेयम् उभयमपि विनश्येत् विलयं गच्छेत् अत्र विषयी विषयः वृत्तिरिति त्रितयं ज्ञातृज्ञेन ज्ञानरूपं त्रिपुटी उच्यते. When I come to perceive anything in this world, everything, as I have explained before also, vritti rupameva jnanam. Vishayamapi, jnaya vishayamapi, vritti rupameva. Anything that I perceive also is perceived only in the form of a vritti, a thought. Any object, whether you are hearing or smelling or tasting or touching or seeing, all of them are recognized, known to me only as a vritti. Once it has become a vritti, even if the object is absent, the vritti will continue. For example, if you are familiar with your home, where you have put in a drawing room, living room, whatever you call it as, you know where what is. The table is here, the dining table is there, probably in the corner near the kitchen, and here is a TV, and here is your working table, or is a sofa, and suddenly the power goes off. You may not be able to see anything, but you know where it is. Why? How? Huh? You know next to the TV is a candle. Okay, you kept it ready. Now, when the power goes off, somebody, come on, get the candle there. No. You will not go to the kitchen. You will not go anywhere. You know which direction you have to go. Why? Vritti. You have registered as a vritti before, even though the eyes are not seeing anything anymore. Correct or not? Try. Today, put off the light and move around. Unless somebody rearranges things when you go home, then there will be a problem. I have every experience, whether it is by the eyes or the nose or the... Everything is only vritti. Thought only. If it is thought, what is that illuminating thing, that thought? Awareness only. So that is why he writes here, Bodhaha bodhyasya jnanam jneyam upayamapi vinashyed. What is that? Atra vishayi vishayaha vritti riti tritayam. Vishayi, the one who is perceiver of the object. Vishayaha, the object. Vrittihi iti triputi. So, when we recognize the jnata, the seer as awareness, the same awareness alone, the same self alone, as a supporter of the object perceived, is the substratum of the object as well. The object is also supported by the same consciousness which is supporting the perceiver of the object. It is not outside that awareness. So when you recognize that awareness is present in you as the seer and in that object as the perceived or seen, then you realize, when I connect both this perceiver and the perceived with one same substratum, both will collapse. All the three will collapse actually. The vritti also will go away. Now, let me give an example. Obviously, we have to take into consideration the experience of dream. In the dream, what is being dreamt and the one who is a dreamer, both are supported by the same being He himself acts as the dreamer and he himself is the world that is perceived. When you wake up, where do they both go? Suddenly you see dream objects walking out of your bed. Walking. Where did it go? Both the dream object and the dreamer, they don't wake up one by one after another. Dreamer woke up, and then what happened? Then dream object one by one disappeared. ऐसा होता है? Or dream objects one by one they disappear, and then dreamer wakes up. वैसा भी नहीं. When you wake up, both the dreamer and the dream object both are gone. Why? Because the ashraya is you. The support is you. When you are aware of yourself, the dreamer you and the dreamed objects, both of them vinashyati. That's why he says, dvitayam vinashyet. Both will disappear. Disappear means what? They become false. False, their appearance is temporary, that way you will know. Not that they get destroyed. Here, vinashyam should be understood as they become a false entity. It is no more of a reality. Swajnane sati tasya सत्स्वरूपात् अभेद ज्ञानम अमेव ज्ञान भवसिद्धेः अनुभवसिद्धेः अभेद अनुभवसिद्धेः सत्वरूपस्य न केवलं विषयिनं प्रति किन्तु वृत्तिं विषयं प्रति च आश्रयबोधत्वात् विषयिनः सत्स्वरूप साक्षात्कारे वृत्तिविषये विषयोरपि स्वरूपात् अभेद अवगम्यते इति विवक्षया तत् द्विविधयं विनश्येति इति उक्तम्. It is not that when I become aware of my own self, that the objects of the world will remain outside independently. They also will be realized by me as part of the consciousness. My own consciousness itself is working in the form of a perceiver, and the same consciousness alone is the support of what is perceived. As much as in the dreamer, the same awareness alone is a dreamer, and the same awareness alone is the dreamed objects as well. This we can understand in the case of a dream experience, but we cannot extend this to the waking because we are keeping the objects of experience outside, thinking that it is other than us, which is what Advaita Vedanta tries to reconcile here. जो आप देख रहे हो वो आप ही हो. You yourself. That's why Bhagavan Shankaracharya said, Vishwam darpana drishyamana nagari tulyam nijantargatam pashyannatmani mayaya bahiriva. Atmani mayaya bahiriva pashyati. Because of the misunderstanding, one looks at the world, perceived world, as outside oneself. When Bhagavan Krishna showed his Vishwarupa, did he say world is outside me? Sab jo aap dekh rahe ho, anything and everything you see, that's me. Nothing other than me. Matta parataram na anyat kinchid asti. Other than me there exists nothing. Meaning what? What you see and who is seeing. Both are same. Both are same consciousness only. It acts as both the perceiver, kshetram and kshetrajna. Both. That is why it's called Advaita. Advaitam. There is no Dvaitam here. Bodhyasya bodhyasya cha samshrayam swam vijanatah tadvitayam vinashyet. And this vinasha of Dvaita is called, that is what is called Nishtha. Nishtha is not sitting in a corner. So मैं निष्ठा में बैठ रहा हूँ. कहाँ बैठ रहे हो? निष्ठा में. तो क्यों वहां जा रहे हो? Why are you going to the corner there? वो corner में निष्ठा हो रहा है. Why are you hiding from the world and say I am Nishtha? Nishtha यहाँ होना चाहिए. Where you are, while you are in the world. So to practice that quietness of the mind, to recollect this knowledge and confirm and firmness in the knowledge takes place in the quietude and solitude. Because this knowledge has to be digested. Uske liye, for that purpose, you may probably sit down and contemplate and digest this idea correctly. For which you may have to probably seclude yourself. Because it cannot happen in the business of the mind, you will not be able to think in this way. But when that knowledge reflection has become firm and you have recognized that the seer and the seen are supported by the same one, therefore I don't need to escape from the scene. This not necessity, no necessity to escape from the scene, it does not affect me anymore because it is me, myself. That is Nishtha. If you are afraid of the world, you cannot be in Atmanishta. Nayamatma balakine nalabhya. Very clearly Upanishad says, by a weakling knowledge, this knowledge cannot be gained. Balahina means what? Not the physical disability or weakness, mental weakness. One who is afraid of the world, one who is terrified by the world, one who runs away from the world, one who wants to escape from the world, cannot be Atmanishta. A person who is facing the world, knowing that, even that the world that I am seeing is supported by the same self which I am. So Atmanishto Bhava. Why? Dvaya vinashane ubayarodane. Laya vinashane ubayarodane. Layagabudam pudar bhavati vinomrutam. Mere layatvam, mere withdrawal cannot be the final solution. It is the vinasha, the falsification, the total merger of the duality into that one which is supporting both the seer and the seen. That person alone can bring an end to this mind, to this ego. We'll see more of it in the next class. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyid dukkhabhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Any questions? Wait.